Good morning.
Hello.
With Easier Habits Live. So I'm Alex Sorensen of Easier Habits, and I coach entrepreneurs in productivity and turning their knowledge into action and results.
And I'm Meg Sorensen. I am a communication consultant, and I help people tell their stories to a global audience using English.
All right. So I did promise a reaction video. Meg hasn't had time to watch the videos, so
Okay, but here's going
Yes.
to be our communication tip for the day.
all right.
The reason why I didn't watch it is because I had made an assumption. And the assumption was that a reaction video was you watch it and then you pause it watch it fast and then you pause it every once in a while and talk about the things. Because I don't watch a lot of YouTube or TikTok or any of that stuff. So that's all I really knew about reaction videos. I saw one about a dude watching someone make mac and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
The only reaction video I've ever seen. And so I had made that assumption that that's what it was going to be as opposed to watching it beforehand, which makes a lot more sense now that I think about it. But the whole idea is assumptions can be helpful because they can make communication faster. And we're all going to make certain assumptions based on our shared history, based on our shared language and culture. But sometimes those assumptions will get you into trouble. And so I apologize because that was my incorrect assumption there. And hopefully you guys can learn a lesson from my mistake.
I mean, into my defense, I had asked you if you'd seen them yet.
Yeah.
You said no.
Well, and I thought that's because I was supposed to do a reaction video. If I saw them before, then it wouldn't be an actual reaction.
It would be a reaction. It just would not be in real time. But anyway, there's two videos I didn't expect you to watch, and I don't know, over an hour of footage in real time, or even at 2x speed, and pause it because there's be a lot of boring stuff. I ramble.
Jeez, how dare
So
you. It's okay. But so what we're going to do is you'll have to tune in on Friday because that's when I'm going to do all of that. So I will watch all of the videos beforehand and then, tune in on Friday.
So and this is a lot of coaching. It's just following up on what is our progress through the week and then adjusting so we can get what we want done by the end of the week. So, So what did you focus on yesterday?
Yesterday I was focusing on getting all of the contacts that I made organized because I got a lot of business cards as well as I took pictures of lots of people's business cards. And so in order to get everything ready to send out emails, I just needed to have those all typed up and divided into, okay, these were just fan people, and these were people that I want to talk to for business. And then for the business ones, have those separated. These are the ones I want to contact about Sleepy Hollow, and here are the ones I want to contact about my own stuff. And some of that was a little bit overlapped. So I was able to get that done, as well as starting drafting my emails that I'm going to send to the different groups. Obviously, follow up for Sleepy Hollow is a thing that I want to work on, and then for my own stuff. And so making sure that those are good. I always have this kind of should I write it in Japanese? Should I write it in English? Kind of question in my mind. So I went back and forth on that a little bit, but decided to do mostly English with some Japanese in there so that, I don't look like I don't know Japanese, but also my Japanese writing is not great. So that might even solidify in their mind, this girl has no idea about any Japanese
Who
stuff.
knows? Who knows?
I don't know. So yeah, that was good. And I'll take a second look at those today before I send them out. But let's see, what else did I do? I did a lot of organizing as well yesterday, just because, it was my first full day back and a lot has been going on, and I just needed to write everything down so I could know what are the things to do and then how can I hone in on them. And so then it also showed me where I have questions, which one of which is okay, so I'm going to have an email list. How do I do that? I've used MailChimp before.
MailChimp allows you free up to 2,000 messages or contacts or something. So it's a great place to start.
Okay. But when I send these emails and I say, if you want to sign up for my email list, click here. What does that click here link bring you to?
So you create a landing page.
Okay.
So so you'd create the landing page in MailChimp, and then you'd have a URL that you can share, and then you can create a click here link. One interesting tip about email lists and effective emails is like, MailChimp allows you to set up pretty HTML emails, and that's like a vanity thing because HTML emails look like the spam that you get in your mail from a company. And so if you're writing emails, just send like plain text, short, like 1 or 2 sentence paragraphs, and then make it just a regular link.
Okay.
Don't make it a button. And then link to that. So probably you could. Yeah. So if you're doing it this way, I guess you'd be sending out that email in your personal email anyway. Mm-hmm. Right? So just click a link like, hey, here, sign up. I'd love to stay in contact, or I'd love to offer you tips on, connecting with people in English at these conventions, etc. Whatever that email is, send it out individualized to each. The tricky thing about not having them already in your email is like you could personalize things like the name or whatever and then batch send it out, but if you don't have them in your email list already and they haven't specifically opted in, it's bad form to just add them. So so you'd write that out and probably like copy paste, I imagine, something, and then update, maybe add a sentence or two
there was a couple of them in particular that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write a slightly more tailored specific one for them because we had a lot of connections and things like that we had talked about, and so I think that'd be good.
And especially when you're offering services, you really do want to lean into the connection and the relationship and show them that you value it and remember it and all that. So.
Well, and I remember this after Annecy in June, right, with, I got some of my follow-up emails off really quickly, which was great, and then other ones, not so much. But it also happened in reverse, that some people emailed me right after Annecy, and that led to several meetings. And then anybody who waited, even like a couple of weeks, I was like, whatever, I don't even remember who you are. And so I think, the idea of getting those things out quickly so that you can connect and show them that, yes, you remember, and yes, I'm following up on the stuff that I said I would follow up on, I think is good.
Yeah, I got a message like a month after one conference, like, oh, hey, finally got a hold of you. And the thing is, like, there's all sorts of spam that is like, hey, hello, from number I don't know. And so I'm like, I don't know if this is spam. Like, it could be. Like, there is one person that, like, I gave my number to that never contacted me from the last conference I've been to. But if that's their message, and since I don't know their number, like, it just looks like spam.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah.
I actually got one of those the other day that was from the Annecy conference, and it said, I've been trying to get a hold of you for the last couple of months. I'm going to try one last time. And I was looking through, I've never received any emails from them.
Right.
And I'm like, is this some weird kind of marketing, like to make me think I missed out on something? And that... Right,
because they totally do that. Like via text message. So, so one, like, remind people who you are, but also send the emails quick.
Yes. So
right
both
afterwards.
of those are good.
That is a way to avoid the spam folder. That's great stuff to work on. With Thanksgiving, I don't know how much we're going to get into the actually creating a funnel, but that probably is another high leverage activity that over time we're going to want to do. Just starting with a landing page on like a landing page on your website, inviting people to schedule an appointment, and we can hook that up for you. And then like a video just describing like how the first session goes and kind of qualifying the lead, that like these are the types of things you might want to do for the scheduling, and this is the person who's good for, maybe even saying like these are the types of people that don't need that or are not ready for this kind of service. So you kind of have a short qualifying video preparing them to feel confident that they are the right person for the service, and that they know what it's going to be and they know what they're going to get out of it. But contact the people that you have made those connections with first while they're still fresh, and then I think that would be next follow-up, and kind of build that funnel from reverse, right? Because if you have a landing page on your website, a scheduling page, then that helps all these other things too. So
Yeah.
people like going to your website can sign up and whatnot. But if you have them on your email list, at least you can like send that out later, right? As
Yeah.
a reminder email after several tips or something. Probably not the first one you want
No,
to send out.
definitely not. And that's one of the things that what I tend to do when I start thinking of that is I'm like, okay, now I have to write all of the emails before I've even gotten people on my email list, right? And so I think either too big or too small. And so being able to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do today, because again, like, it's Thanksgiving week, our kids are home, and so we have time that we spend with them and hanging out and everything, and it's not all the time, but it's significant. And so also having realistic expectations of what I'm going to be able to get accomplished today. Like yesterday, I was so exhausted. I think I took 3 naps. I mean, they weren't very long naps, but there was still 3 separate instances of napping because my body just needed it. And so I wasn't able to get the emails actually sent out, but again, it was wait, what do I link it to? And so, as soon as I have one of those questions in my mind, it shuts down and says, I don't know how to do that yet. I'm going to put that aside and do something else or take a nap or whatever, and then I forget about it.
So I have a video on procrastination actually that I put out while you were gone on specifically procrastination and marketing, where I talk about how the gist of it is when you don't know what to write in your marketing, write the template. So you have a very specific series of like, I need this header if it's like a website, or like, this paragraph, this call to action, etc.
Yeah.
And then instead of figuring out what to write in the letter, you think like, oh, I need 1 testimonial, 1, quick case study, and then 1 call to action and a header.
Yeah.
Right? Which is like 4 very specific things versus, just a general letter. So, yeah, that's one way to go a little bit further and then get momentum. But like, you could also like walk, I don't know, like 30 feet and ask me.
Well, and that's like, again, like reminding myself that that's a thing that I can do.
Yeah.
That I can like.
Benefits of living with a business consultant / coach.
Right? And there's this is like just my own, stuff, but like so many things that I don't ask for help until like I'm absolutely desperate and like, anyways, there's.
Well, and, again, just selling the coaching services, I think that's something my clients get out of it too, which is like they have paid for the sessions in their scheduled, so they have a period of time where they like don't have to feel any guilt or like reverse obligation or obligation to reciprocate, and they can just get help.
Yeah.
Which is like, with a mentor, if you can find one, they often can't meet weekly. And even if they
Right.
could, you like feel this like guilty, like, what am I giving back? And same thing with a lot of other reciprocations. And it's kind of a nice thing about having a coach is you're just like, this is my time and I can be greedy with it and, not worry.
Well, and I'm super special because my coach lives with me. And so I don't have to wait.
Right.
Because I think there was a part of me, I didn't actively think about it,
Right.
but I just thought, I'll bring that up in tomorrow's meeting.
Well, but it is a difference between what we do and coaching, right?
It's true.
Like, you don't have we have this scheduled time, which is bringing that out, which is nice. That's just the power of scheduled time. But like, I remember even because especially I don't do a super hard sales pitch, and maybe that's something I could work on. But like my first client, I actually asked him like, what are you looking for? And, what do you want to get out of this? I guess my first long-term client, what do you want to get out of this? And specifically asked like, why don't you just, have an accountability partner with a friend? Like, just schedule that time with a friend. And the answer is like, the money is an important part of this. Like literally investing in my future keeps me coming here, keeps me focused, keeps me responsible for acting. If I do that, then I will, hold myself accountable. Whereas, and I know this and from both like attempted work collaborations as well as just creative and hobby stuff, like stuff that you try and do with your friends often falls apart.
Yeah, it's true. And so, having, the set time as well as the officialness, I guess, of it. And so,
Yeah, we kind of sub out the investment of money for like the accountability of being on camera live.
Yeah.
Which definitely does put us more on the spot, makes us more accountable.
Yeah, and it's good. Like for me, as an adult, trying to figure out how to hold myself accountable when I don't get grades for stuff.
I grade you. That would be a nightmare.
That would be horrible. That would be so bad. But yeah, like I did really well in school, right? Because it was very clear expectations, very clear feedback, and I knew how to get the success grade that I wanted. But when you don't have that as an adult, or sometimes even with kids, right?
Yeah.
You're doing all of these things, and they're like, "Mommy, I hate you."
We should get into this another time. I think there is a...
That's a whole other session.
Well, but there's an interesting idea I was just hearing from Alex Hormozy, one of his videos, where he talks about how, like, most people live in a state where time is their enemy.
Yeah.
And flipping his perspective to try and invest in things where time is his friend, which was an interesting point of view. So... But I think it's like a longer conversation.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that
We
one.
can do that, and we can do that another time.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, record that for tomorrow. I don't know, but let's. This is already getting longer. Actually, not that long. Only 60 minutes.
Yeah.
We're doing well.
We're doing well. Yes.
Right? But we'll keep it short and sweet. And before I give my business tip, if this is helpful content, please like, subscribe, share. We're trying to build a community of entrepreneurs where we can support each other and start off the day with a little insight into something that might help the business, but also a lot of focus on action and moving you forward. And so like, subscribe, sign up, say hi if you're live in the chat. We're live at 8 a.m. Central every morning. And every weekday morning. We will have something recorded for Thanksgiving. Spend the time with your family, catch up later. And then we'll be live again on Friday.
Yep, where I will do my reaction video.
All right. So,
and tear you apart.
Yes, destroy.
Destroy, that's what it is.
Destroy husband after insane rant. That's the clickbait title that I'm going for. So one of my kids really wanted to be in the video, so he gave this tip, which is be a good self-starter like me. And you might be inspired by me. I like seeing how far the inspiration spreads. And I think he said something like maybe to the whole world. So it was cute. That was as a result of him deciding on his own, and Eli. I didn't say it. That was not a thing. And my other son deciding on their own to empty the dishwasher. And that was just nice. Normally I empty the dishwasher in the morning or forget and leave it till later in the day. But they decided to empty it.
To be self-starters.
Yes, to be self-started and service. And they were on a super big high from that. And this actually inspired me, kind of related to something else that I saw related to entrepreneurs and service, which is a thread on Twitter where someone asked, when you're getting started out, did you work for free? And I'm going to say, never work for free. Always work to build your company, but service is acceptable. And the business tip is have one specific goal, primary goal for your work projects, and treat them like that. Because if you're an entrepreneur, it's easy to do something unclearly and being like, well, I hope this gets me clients, so it's kind of for business, but like they're also a friend and this is service and this is interesting, so it's something I want to learn about, and like do all of those things and none of them well, right? And it's unclear to you. It's also unclear to your potential client or your friend or whatever what this is for, right? And so just set a singular intention, right? If this is for learning, go in learning, like do some research ahead of time, take notes, then reflect, journal afterwards, and maximize your what could I do here, what could I turn into a system, what could I try again, what are new experiences that I have, like journal those things out. That's great for learning. If it is for your business, you're hoping eventually to get clients, you don't have to take money, but don't work for free. Talk to them about doing an interview, getting a testimonial, filming the end result or part of the process, so you're actually creating something that builds your company, builds your brand, you can use for marketing, etc., even if you're not taking money. And then the third thing is like, if it's service, let it be service. And that is good too. Sometimes if you're stressed out, the best way to get that emotional high my son was on was just doing something purely for service. And then, I mean, you can also learn from that, but especially if you like start bringing your business in, like, hey, can I do this for a testimonial? That kind of changes it from just service for a friend or service from someone to something for your business. And so like, if you're going to do service, that's great. I think that is a great way to energize yourself. It's a great way to take a break from your own problems. But if you really want to take a break from your own problems, then like leave the business behind.
Yeah.
And so just like bucket it in one of those three categories. Is this a learning opportunity? Is this business development? Or is this service? And go all in on whichever one you choose.
I love it.
So
Awesome.
Yep, that's all for today. And again, like, share, subscribe, and until tomorrow, make big changes one small habit at a time.
Bye.